Remember the thrill of an unexpected twist in a story? Like when Darth Vader revealed he was Luke's father in The Empire Strikes Back. It changed everything we thought we knew, forcing us to see the story through a whole new lens. Life has moments like that times when a revolutionary idea shakes our understanding of fundamental truths and transforms how we see the world. That's the essence of Jesus' teachings on generosity, where he challenges societal norms and invites us to embrace a radical, transformative love rooted in sacrifice and faith. In the Gospels, Jesus was a master of flipping the script, offering perspectives that defied expectations and redefined life, faith, and relationships. His teachings on generosity go beyond giving money. They delve into the heart behind our actions. In Luke's Gospel, Jesus measures generosity not by wealth, but by the depth of sacrifice and the love that fuels it. These lessons, as powerful today as they were 2,000 years ago, invite us to rethink what it means to truly give. Generosity as an expression of Christ-likeness. Developing a spirit of generosity is essential for those seeking to grow in Christ-likeness. Why? Because God's nature is inherently generous. He gave us life, sustains us daily, and offers redemption through Jesus Christ. To say that God is love is to acknowledge that love and generosity are inseparable. While it's possible to give without loving, it is impossible to love without giving. True love always manifests itself in acts of generosity towards God, neighbors, and loved ones. This principle is evident in John, where we learn that God so loved the world that he gave his only Son. Love compels giving, and generosity becomes a reflection of God's character in us. Jesus' teaching in Luke exemplifies this principle. While Jesus was at the temple, he watched the rich people dropping their gifts in the collection box. Then a poor widow came by and dropped in 2 small coins. "I tell you the truth," Jesus said, "this poor widow has given more than all of the rest of them, for they have given a tiny part of their surplus. But she, poor as she is, has given everything she has." This moment reveals Jesus' perspective on generosity, challenging the prevailing notion that its value lies in the size of the gift. Instead, Jesus measures generosity by the size of the sacrifice and the spirit in which it is given. Sacrificial giving, as demonstrated by the widow, is the highest form of generosity because it reflects a trust in God's provision and a heart fully devoted to Him. Flipping the script on generosity. Number 1. The measure of generosity. In ancient Jewish culture, as in many societies today, generosity was often measured by the size of the gift. Wealthy individuals would donate large sums in a way that drew public attention, reinforcing a societal script that equated net worth with self-worth. This practice was not only a display of wealth, but also a means of gaining social recognition and status. The sound of coins clattering into the temple receptacles was as much about making a statement as it was about making an offering. However, this mindset creates an obstacle: shame. Those who have less to give may feel unworthy or embarrassed, believing their contributions hold little value. Studies have shown that this kind of societal pressure often discourages those with limited means from giving altogether, as they fear judgment or ridicule. The widow in Jesus' story challenges this notion. Despite her meager offering, Jesus declares her gift greater than all others because she gave out of her poverty, sacrificing everything she had. Jesus offers a new script. Generosity is not measured by the size of the gift, but by the size of the sacrifice. This shift allows everyone to participate in acts of generosity, regardless of their financial means. It's a liberating perspective that redefines giving as an act of faith and love rather than a measure of wealth. By doing so, Jesus emphasizes that God values the heart behind the gift more than the gift itself, inviting all to experience the joy of giving. Number 2. The motivation for generosity. Another script Jesus overturns is the idea that generosity is an obligation. When giving is framed as a duty, it often breeds resentment. Jesus challenges this transactional view with a new principle: generosity should flow from gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful motivator that transforms giving from a chore into a joyful act. Research in psychology supports this, showing that gratitude increases feelings of happiness and reduces stress, creating a positive feedback loop that encourages further acts of kindness. In Matthew 10:8, Jesus tells his disciples, "Freely you have received, freely give." This teaching highlights the abundance of God's grace and blessings. Everything we have, life, creation, redemption, is a gift from God. When we recognize the depth of God's love and generosity toward us, our natural response is gratitude, which fuels authentic and joyful giving. This perspective shifts our mindset from scarcity to abundance, reminding us that we serve a God who provides for our needs. Imagine being deeply loved by someone who gives selflessly to you. The natural response is to reciprocate that love through acts of kindness and generosity, not out of obligation, but from a heart overflowing with thankfulness. This same principle applies to our relationship with God. When we truly grasp the magnitude of Jesus' sacrifice and the grace we've received, generosity becomes a joyful expression of our gratitude. This kind of giving fosters a deeper connection with God and strengthens our relationships with others. Number 3, the effect of generosity. Many people live with the belief that generosity results in a net loss. The fear of not having enough for bills, education, retirement often discourages us from giving. Jesus addresses this fear head-on in Luke. "Give, and you will receive. Your gift will return to you in full, pressed down, shaken together to make room for more, running over, and poured into your lap." The amount you give will determine the amount you get back. Jesus teaches that generosity is not a zero-sum game. Instead, it creates a ripple effect, blessing both the giver and the recipient. Studies in modern psychology and neuroscience affirm this principle. Generosity has been shown to lower blood pressure, reduce stress, combat depression, and increase overall happiness and life satisfaction. When we give, we not only enhance our well-being, but also contribute to the flourishing of others. The widow's act of giving continues to inspire millions, illustrating the lasting impact of sacrificial generosity. Churches, charities, and countless lives have been transformed because of her story. This is the ultimate return on investment. Generosity enriches both the giver and the world. By embracing Jesus' teaching, we unlock the potential for immense personal and communal growth, creating a cycle of blessings that extends far beyond the initial act. Living out the new script. Living out Jesus' teachings on generosity invites us to rewrite our own narratives. Do we define worth by what we own? Do we give from obligation or gratitude? Are we driven by fear or faith? These questions uncover the beliefs shaping how we approach giving and challenge us to embrace a new way of life. True generosity isn't about the size of the gift, but the heart and sacrifice behind it. When we shift our perspective, gratitude naturally flows as we reflect on God's abundant blessings. This gratitude fuels giving, transforming it from a duty to a joy. Overcoming fear becomes possible when we trust in God's provision, knowing that generosity enriches us spiritually and emotionally. Generosity is more than an action. It's a reflection of God's character and a way of life that brings transformation. The widow's small yet sacrificial gift reminds us that even the simplest acts of giving can hold eternal value. By aligning with this mindset, we become part of God's redemptive work, experiencing the deep joy and purpose of a generous heart. Thank you for joining us on this journey of understanding generosity through the teachings of Jesus. If you found this message inspiring, don't forget to hit that like button and make sure to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. See you in the next video.